Well, I can't lie to y'all. 5 years ago, if someone would have told me it would have come and gone so quickly, I would have been like, man, that's crazy. But you look up and you missing the sport that you was playing, that you was just whining about waking up going to a 6:15 a.m. workout, and then you in the real world working in the office every day. And it kind of makes you just look at everything for what it was. Like I come from Palm Bluff. Played all sports in high school, which was decent. Didn't have any offers. stAte really was just a blessing. Coach David Gunn came down, and he was actually recruiting my quarterback and CJ Gurley, a linebacker. Some of y'all know him. And I just happened to be in the room, and he was like, who was that kid? And first thing he looked at was my GPA. That was one thing that really sparked me even come to stAte. I wound up having a 3.8, and just barely got by on the ACT. I had a 20, and so I applied when I got here. And so Coach Gunn was like, you can walk on, and I was like, man, that's all I ever wanted to do was get a chance, because like I said, I didn't have any offers, not even from no D2 offers at that. And I thought I thought I was decent, and so man, I came up here. And I knew I had a chip on my shoulder already, because I felt like, somebody should have gave me a shot. But that really did, just was the beginning and the molding process for me. stAte, so many connections I've been able to make, and that's why I'm in the position that I'm in now. I mean, most people, when they're done with ball, so many institutions just, you put in your time, and I mean, if you make it pro in what you're doing, then it's kind of like, man, we gonna try, but how many times is there like 3,000 more athletes that they gotta help out? I just happened to make the right connections, and was blessed to get a job and all of that. But my main thing is don't take the time for granted, because I promise you, the day after the New Orleans Bowl last year, I cried a whole day. And then I got ready for Pro Day, but after Pro Day, I cried some more. Because, man, I remember them speeches that them seniors give every year. Oh, man, it's going to go by before you know it. And, you're a freshman, you're like, man, it's taking forever, man. I'm just trying to play. And then, you move up and you start playing a little bit, and you're looking at what, I got 2 more years, I got a couple rings, and then you look up, and now you're back in the stadium, sick on the sideline, watching the teams play. It was so hard for me to bring myself to even watch a football game. But yeah, that's definitely it. Just take advantage of the opportunities, have fun, because one day it's just gonna be a bunch of memories, a bunch of photos in your phone, a bunch of videos, a bunch of funny bloopers. That you just randomly pop in your head, and then you looking up and you texting, hey man, HJD man, you remember that one time? And or hey Trez, man, you remember that one time, man? And I just say that this is probably one of the best institutions as far as helping the student athletes after graduation. Like Coach Z, he really, really pours into the job search after, man. And some of the coaches here, they got 100% job placement, man. That's crazy. People really don't think about that. The big schools like Alabama, they're not worried about that, because 9 times out of 10, if you at Alabama, you got a shot. Just because you got Alabama on your back. But when you're at a school like this, mid-major, it could go either way. But man, just make the most of your time here, and everything can work out in your favor.
That's right. So I want to, before we continue on, is just do a little housekeeping. So, we mentioned some great resources here, great experiences and great tools. So for all of those who have some good mentors, whether it's Coach Z, Terry Mahajer, your academic counselors, stand up. So nobody has teachers, advisors, counselors. Stretch out and move to the front. There we go. Thank you.
Come on there. Come on there. Y'all look now.
Right? So all of us that got some good counselors, good teachers, let's move to the front, because I know they taught you about being a desk and standing out in whatever you do, right? Right. So y'all weren't in the back when y'all got your scholarship to come here, so we shouldn't be in the back when we trying to learn about how to do better, right? Right. So all of our speakers spoke to the power of what you're doing as a student athlete is not because you can do what you do on the field or the court or the track, and because you can translate that to success off the field. So whether it's in makeup and sales, it's in student affairs, that you are taking what you've learned to be excellent as a person, not just an athlete. So I just wanted to talk about that transition. You know, so I know we're in the room, we're talking about freshmen. Well, let me ask, so where are my freshmen at? Yay, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Oh, okay, so this is relevant, right? That transition is coming. And it's so funny because I teach applied sports psychology, and in my class, we were talking about imagery and how we use imagery to help correct players' behaviors and help them improve. And we had them, so as an example, we talked about graduation. So I thought this was a happy example, right? Who's not happy to graduate? But I didn't realize that for many people that graduation is actually a time of anxiety, what you're gonna do next, what you're gonna do when you have to hang up your cleats or your shoes or your shorts. So I want us to kind of harp on that experience that Mr. Mays talked about. What does that transition look like? Because what we find is that the earlier you can prepare for that transition, the smoother it's gonna be. So what are those things or those people that helped you to transition from being a college athlete into the person in the career that you're pursuing now?
Well, one of the things for me was coach. Once I realized, and I think all y'all can relate to this, any football player think they're going to the NFL. I'm going to the NFL, right? So once I realized, okay, I'm not going to the NFL no more, you know, that was something God put on my heart. So I went to the head coach. I said, Coach, at the time I was doing banking, I said, give me every name of a person who is a president or a branch manager or something. He gave me the name, and I sat down and I went to go talk to every single one of those people. And I probably talked to 8 people, and the person that I sat down with, it was at a bank. I went in there, and I constantly, anytime I went into this bank, I started an account. When I went in there, I said hi to one of the managers. I used to always say hi to him. And so I went, did it, just stopped by and let them know, hey, I'm looking for a job, looking for opportunity, any way that I can be able to come out here and just get some experience, because you need experience. Your degree is great to be able to have, but experience is even better. So that's what I was looking for. And the lady seen me, I said, yes, I have a degree in banking. And so, sure enough, you know, I contact her. She said, well, go online, fill out the application, and we'll see what we can be able to have. Well, I can tell you, that was one of the fastest interviews I ever had, just because of that relationship I built with her. But it was because of me coming in there, just constantly saying hi to this lady, just making an effort to be able to stop by there. She was able to hire me on, and that gave me my first job. And I was still in school, but you don't realize how important it is to be able to meet with people, whether it's like us or Dr. O or just some of the fans that y'all even know. And it's important for y'all to be able to make connection with some of those people. Some of y'all be like, man, I don't like talking to people. I don't know that person. They don't know me. Look, put your pride aside, because I promise you, school's gonna be over sooner or later. And even if you make it to a professional level, let's just say you do, how many years will you make it? And then when those years are over, what you gonna do then? See, the thing is as an athlete, you just thinking about right now, besides the seniors. You just thinking about right now, I just gotta finish that next semester. That's it. But what happened when you had more semesters? You don't think it's gonna come. It's probably 3 years away, 4 years, whatever. But okay, what's next? What kind of life do I want to be able to build up? And so I promise you, y'all need to make sure y'all take advantage of the resources y'all have and the people. Try to build a relationship with the people. I mean, me and my wife live right here in Jonesboro. And I have no problem coming up here at ASU and just be able to give advice, letting you know what to do. I have to interview, like I used to be a manager, and I had to interview a lot of college students. And you'd be surprised. You know, they don't even know how to hold an interview. And so I tell you that because take advantage of all this small stuff. I promise you, when they say go to this for extra credit, the extra credit is not really for the class, it's for you. And I didn't like, I'm gonna be honest with you, starting off, when I came into college, I was that guy who always wanted to cheat on tests. Just to be honest. I was that guy, and you know what, that caught up with me, because when I got to my senior year, I realized I can't cheat. I need to know this stuff. I don't need to memorize it, I need to know it. And that was a hard transition for me because I waited so long to make that, to be able to start realizing, oh, I need to get better at this. I need to learn instead of just trying to barely get by. Because when you barely get by, that's what's going to happen when you hit the real world. You're just going to barely get by. You're just going to do what you need to do that month. You'll do what you need to do that week. And then after a while, you look back and you're like, I haven't done nothing with myself. And I see a lot of athletes that I graduate with that's down that path right now. So I'm telling you guys, and we'll get on this later about having goals and dreams, but take advantage right now. And seniors, if y'all have a relationship with people that, with Coach Z or whoever it may be, you know, honor the relationship for people who took good interest in y'all, people who seem like they generally cared about you more than just an athlete. Because when people look at you more than an athlete, they understand that you're an individual that have dreams that's going to be outside of being an athlete. So, super important. I'm pretty sure when they say something, I'll probably think of something, but that's the main thing that comes.
Transitioning from athlete to the real world. Like you say, get you a good mentor. One of my boosters, Beth Crockett, I don't know if some of you girls on the basketball team might know her. She's been with me since 95. And to this day, it's 2016, I'm still going to our house. We're going over there for Thanksgiving. And so almost 17, 16 years, she's still a part of my life. And so it's still a role model. She was a loan officer. She just retired earlier this year in January. And I went to talk to her about a house. Yeah, right, got on down, right, got Jahbari a house, sure did. So it was other ones that I knew Louis interest. He was a president of the bank, and I went through him and got a loan. And let me tell y'all, married and young and didn't understand credit score wasn't the best of the great, but because of favor and because he knew who I was as a person and how I was so diligent and so on time and showed captain, you know, just did all things that was positive. He gave me a loan when my credit score was 432 on $90,000 on a house. I'm telling y'all, I had a zero in my account when I signed on the dotted line, but I had $2,000 in my bank account when I finished. So I'm telling you, full. And so I'm telling you, it's good to know people. Right, I'm telling you, it's good to know people. It's good to have a good relationship with them. And from there on, I learned to not always trust people's faces because you never know who's going to help you. Be kind to everybody. Build a relationship. Be kind. Say hi, like George say. Anytime you see, hey, what's up? How you doing? Are you good? All right. Just make sure, because you don't know when you're going to need them.